The reasons for the war between Russia and Ukraine are very easy to understand. On the one hand, they are very similar countries, the language, cultures, history, customs, religion, but in terms of political structure and mentality, there is a main difference. If in Russia everything comes from the center, in Ukraine both the way of being of one and life of the people are totally connected with the free market and the independence of the individual. In addition, in Russia there is a lot of influence from China, the Muslim world, and dozens of different cultures. Ukraine, in this case, a country of monoculture and monoreligion. The current situation in Russia presents us with a very high levels of repression against the people and emigration due to disagreement with the regime and an attempt by the government to implement the same measures that there are in North Korea to control the protest. The people charge little, the standard of living is bad, and freedom of expression is zero. However, a couple of dozen people in the dome of the Russian governors are getting richer and richer every day. Precisely because of the dictatorship that exists in Russia, most people prefer to emigrate, and of course among them there are many followers of Kremlin politics who live among us with the sole desire to loosen the European people and defend the values of Moscow. With those people we have to be careful because they act hidden behind our backs and are prepared to do us a lot of harm at the time of receiving an order from the Russian capital. Why is it so important to defend Ukraine? Because this country represents the frontier of our fortress of democracy called the European Community. In addition, this conflict between two countries is very interesting to study with a magnifying glass for us. More than anything that is happening in Russia, because people in power here in our countries can calmly implement the same tools of political pressure to convert the people to their slaves. Yes to Ukraine, and no to the dictatorship of Russia. These days you have to be awake because freedom is a jewel and jewelry must be protected.